What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast on Patreon. Was that awful? I think it was extra cool.
Yeah. Well, it's not technically on Patreon, though.
It is and it isn't. I'm sorry about that. I'm not a mechanical wizard. It's not mechanics. It doesn't matter. When it comes to setting this stuff up, I guess I'm just horrible at it. And I was like, we can totally go live on Patreon. And turns out not in the way I thought you could. So here we are. But the only people that really know about this nice little posting here are the people who were expecting it. So it'll work.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
We also do have the chat pulled up right now. So if you guys are here with us live, then you will be able to talk to us. I am also scanning the Discord channel. So if you guys hop on there, we'll be able to connect with you guys there as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you had that pulled up, because I do not.
I do. It's really convenient. I've got the Spreaker chat right here on the computer, and I got Discord pulled up on my phone. So we are ready to rock and roll, pending that bottle's opening.
Yeah.
And it is a good one today.
And we could probably bullshit for a little while and just make sure everyone found their way over here before we get fully into things, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a little less structured than normal. I know, oh no, Nate and Jade are disorganized again. That's pretty much the huge. But yeah, we're excited to be here. And so, yeah, we're hanging out, man. And we got our first Sarah Gallagher on Spreaker. Hello, so excited for the live episode. What's going on, Sarah?
Oh, I thought you were saying hello to her. I'm saying, yeah, hello.
Yeah, to her.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello. We also hope you guys have brought some theories or
thoughts.
Yeah, literally anything. I know there's a couple people that have reached out saying that they have some theories. I think it
corrections.
Was or a correction. There were some mistakes pointed out. So I can't wait to hear about those. We've looked into a few ourselves, and we have some things we want to talk about as well.
Yeah, it's kind of off the cuff. We're just kind of, I just want to talk and hang out. So if anybody else has thoughts, I would love to hear
them. We got another from Maria. Yeah, well, it was small. I was like, oh gosh, my old man eyes. Hello, Maria. How are you?
Nate spent the day recovering. We both got our third booster shots yesterday. Yeah. So Nate got hit pretty hard with a headache, and he had to sleep so that he could be here with us today.
I'm alive again.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I was worried for a while. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I hit the pillow hard. I went to work this morning, and then when I got home, I was like, I need to lay down for like maybe an hour. And then Jade's waking me up at 2:00. Like, hey, dude.
And then I had to come
today?
Back again like 2 hours later.
So remember how we were going to do a thing? Gonna need you for that.
Yeah. But hey, he's here. He's up. He got everything going. Because God knows I couldn't have done this shit by myself. Like, literally, I would have been like, okay, I'm going to post a video. I'm just going to go live on Facebook. I know how to do that. I can hit the button.
I'm just going to do a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we have another on, I don't know how to pronounce this, Marila on Discord. What's going on?
You did way better than I did.
It looked different. I don't know.
That's why we make you pronounce things on this show, because we know how it goes if I pronounce things.
Well, and I know that some people on Discord, it's not like their actual name. It's like a tag, so sometimes there's numbers and stuff in it, and it's just... all bets are off.
Yeah.
Name pronunciation doesn't really help you there.
It's like our gamer tags. I can always tell what kind of person I'm playing with on like Sea of Thieves, depending on which part of my name they go with, because my name's Killer Pie on there. So if they call me Killer, I'm like, okay, that's what kind of vibe we got here. If they call me Pie, I'm like, okay.
that it's some weird little kid breathing heavily into his microphone, like, I'm playing with a girl. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, are you gonna open that bottle of beer there, or are we just gonna stare at it this whole time?
We can crack this thing open, and then we will get into it. Okay, so since we're probably not going to stop halfway through to talk about what we're drinking today, I just want to give it its due right on the top here.
You almost went to like a Christopher Walken.
Give it its due.
Yeah.
I can't do a Christopher Walken, so I probably just disappointed a lot of people. This is No Rules Chocolate Raspberry. It's a Vietnamese porter, imperial porter aged in oak bourbon barrels. And this motherfucker right here is clocking in at 15%.
So this is all we're drinking tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 1 deuce, and that's probably good.
Probably good.
Probably good. Yeah, well, everybody's heard my story about attempting to drink one of these things by myself in the driveway working on the motorcycle and how that did not work out.
But this is Nate's special Christmas. He saved it. I can't talk. He saved this all year.
And that's before the beer.
Yeah, to drink for Christmas. But he's choosing to drink it now with all of us.
Yeah, that's right. And we are going to be opening this bad boy with a knife given to us by Aaron Duddles. He is an actual wizard, by the way, because he figured out how to laser engrave the All the Things logo onto this multi-tool pocket knife. Did
we ever share a picture of that? I thought we did, but maybe we
I thought we did, but you know what? We might not have. We're going to have to throw another one up there. Hello, Caro. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. So we are gonna lock that on to the
probably not gonna make
the bottle top there. No, it's got nice little teeth on it, so it just
slid right off.
Nice and
just
smooth.
Right
Look
off.
at that. Well played. And
well played, knife.
Well played, knife. Good for you. And you can. It's got places to.
Okay.
For sockets
it's a utility knife.
It's got a clip on it. It's a utility knife. It's my podcasting Batman utility knife. Wonderful. Well, here we go. We're going to
pour that bad boy out.
Ooh. It is dark. It is thick.
Pour one out for all the souls lost during this book.
There were quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I think more Mriswith than anything else. So are we really upset?
I mean, no. But still. We're going to get into the Mriswith because I'm confused a little bit. Maybe not. Like, it's probably way simpler than I'm making it, but.
All right. That's almost, there's like a swallow left in there. And I won't pour it out for the dead homies because that's, a waste of beer. But cheers. No, I can't cheers by myself with a bottle when here. What am I doing? Here you go. That's for you.
Thanks.
This is for me here.
Cheers. Cheers to everybody. We made it to the end of another book.
We did it, guys. Woo!
I like joked about there being like 12 books left, but that's like how many we actually have left. We're really not that far into the series at all.
No, I believe that there's actually, I want to say, okay, don't quote me on this because I'm most definitely wrong, but there's like 12 to 15 books, I think maybe closer to 15, in the actual Sword of Truth series.
We should know these numbers way better.
We should. But
we have talked.
But then there's like the Nikki Chronicles. There's the Children of Dahara. There's the Magnaceres, and you got Dead of Bones, which actually happened before the timeline starts. So we're gonna have to pick a good place to start doing a couple of those books as well.
Yes, because we were talking about this the other night, me and you, just trying to figure out where Dead of Bones should go, because you don't want to go too far before getting into that. But
yeah.
We've talked about also getting like the map and trying to figure out where people were and making a list of all the nicknames that we come up with people, and like their characteristics, kind of. I think we need to get like either a big ass whiteboard for down here, or like a bulletin board with like different poster boards with all this information on it, so we can reference it behind us while we're like in podcast mode. Like, there's my info right there.
We can keep it all straight.
Yeah, there's 22 books in the interior, all that, so we sound smarter.
Like a conspiracy theory yarn board?
Yeah, kind of,
Oh, yes, please, can we do that?
That meme of Charlie Day with a cigarette.
That's funny. Aaron Duddle's joining us in the chat. My gifts are not for the public unless I am credited and compensated.
Well, he got credited.
I just credited you, and
were you not listening? I'm just kidding.
There's
sorry.
beer if you want to be compensated, but you'll have to drive over here.
Yeah, we're here. We're doing a thing. So.
Oh, that beer's so good. Definitely a chocolate raspberry mix. I want to say the raspberry is just a little bit muted, but it is so, you guys.
Wow.
It is so smooth.
You taste a lot of the fruit for like a bourbon barrel fucking thing,
Yeah.
Like normally the fruit gets really overwhelmed by it, but you can taste it.
It doesn't really punch you in the face. Like, oh. So good.
Okay.
Aaron says deal. So apparently he's on his way here.
Anyways, okay. So,
shall we do this thing?
Yeah, I suppose. I don't
I guess if we
I did not fuck, that wasn't my intention
I know.
to sound like that. By the way, just a little side note, the other night while we were editing the podcast, Nate stopped and he was like, "We just said fuck like 7 times in the matter of 2 minutes."
A lot.
He was a little overwhelmed. He's like, "I don't know if that's okay." I'm like, "Well, it just happened that way. It's not our fault."
Look, in the grand scheme of things, it's just kind of the way we talk. And I'm not going to really apologize for it. But at the same time, when I notice that I've been swearing a lot, and I'm like, wow, is that too much? If I'm asking if it's too much, maybe it was too much.
Well, hopefully it's not.
Not that I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
Just maybe I won't quite as much.
Well, it's definitely not something most people will probably listen to on, like, out loud at work, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
We've limited our podcast from that area.
Though if you did, cheers to you.
Yeah.
So, all right.
My first thing is, we may have, like, touched on this, and I don't know if in the episode we actually, like, landed on the answer or not, because I honestly did not go back and listen to all of our episodes just to prepare for this. I thought about it, but then I decided I didn't have enough time, so I didn't. But the lady on the cover, the edition with the Mariswith and Richard and the weird lady standing there in the tower, that's definitely Marissa, because she's wearing the red outfit. And, like, the Mariswith Queen, it's the scene where he, like, lets it out. When he makes the Mariswith Queen feel the need, you know?
With the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how it's all the way at the end of the book, but it was, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like, vague enough to where you're not really sure when it happened. It was just those two people in a weird spot. Now, by the end of the book, you know specifically what's going on. But you could look at that image at the beginning and have no idea.
Well, I think it's also confusing because the woman looks like she has, like, red hair. And to my knowledge, Marissa has, like, fucking dark hair. So I think that was just artistic liberties, just confusing everybody, because that's definitely not what she looks like to me in my head anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so that's, I figure... I don't know. I just thought that was something we could touch on because now we know we've gotten to the end of the book. We've seen the scene, you know?
It happened. They did the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
That's why I must take the sword of truth and become Superman 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like that they said the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, well, we got our first chat suggestion. This one is from Maria. She asks, does getting married without the mud people count? Or does count, or is it like doing having sex in the unknown? Did it happen? Does it not really? Like, does it really count, or does it not?
If they don't get married without the mud people?
Yeah, married with the mud people, or I think she's asking about the unknown. Like, did that actually count? Did it not?
I think we've decided that the sex in the unknown definitely did not count because, Kaylin is still a virgin
in the physical realm.
Yeah, she's still intact, right? Right. That's probably a crude way to put that, but like she's never actually had sex outside of like the spirit realm, so she's still pure. That's why now we're being pushed with this like gotta get married before sex fucking like story. What? Now all of a sudden that's an important thing to our characters suddenly when they've already had sex in the unknown. But that's why I think they should. I don't think they should go to the mud people.
You don't think they should?
I mean, I've read the series, so like sorry everybody. So I know
it's live audio. It's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I know that earlier I was like, shit, I'll just edit this out, and I can't. But what? Are we too quiet?
I might be able to turn it up. Let's see if I can turn this up here. Okay. Well, hopefully that did it.
Yeah, let us know if you can't hear us still, because we want to make sure you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just think that, I mean, I know, I guess this is me saying this with prior knowledge of what happens, but they should not go and waste a bunch of time going to get married with the mud people. But I get how maybe it wouldn't, I don't know, be blessed by the elders there, or the spirits, like they were going to be.
Well, they're mud people. They're supposed to be mud people.
Yeah, and have the...
So even though they're kind of in charge of everything, they were officially recognized as mud people. Now...
And Richard was supposed to marry a mud person, right? To become a mud person.
Right, exactly. And that was all pertinent to, like, the first and second books.
All the shit he did there. So, like, maybe he has to, or, like, has more of a actual bond to do that there.
I think it does have something to do with it. Now, I think, they can get married. I think if they went somewhere else, they could get married. Yeah, it would count. It would count to the people of the Midlands in general. But I don't know. I think maybe the mud people would say, hey, you owe us a baby, motherfucker. So we need you to get married here, even if it's just in the sense of, the celebration, the ceremony.
Ceremonially.
In that aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would count, but I think the mud people are kind of owed a little bit too, because they've been central to the story so far, even though they weren't heavy in this book.
Yeah, I mean, he did make promises to do all those times in the spirit house, the gatherings and shit.
Right, that's true. I guess he did kind of pay for it in a way, but still, when you promise, you promise.
Yeah.
And for a guy like Richard, I know I've said this before, but honor is currency. Yeah. I don't want your money if your word's no good. Did that make me sound like a cowboy? I don't want your money if your word's no good.
I'm going to say yes, because you've been into cowboy movies lately.
I have. It's weird. I don't know why it happened.
All of a sudden, Nate's putting a Western on the TV, and he's like, you want to watch Tombstone?
I just got curious, yeah. And Jade looked me dead in my eye and said, I'm your Huckleberry. And it was wonderful.
Yeah. That's how that went, for sure.
That's exactly how that went.
Yeah.
I don't recall it being any different. Well, speaking of one certain badass person, not Doc Holliday, I'm talking about Mistress Sanderholt.
Yeah. Sandy No Nails.
No nails, Sandy. We don't really get to see Sander Holt and Kaylin reunion, but what we do see is like this weird scene where Mistress Sanderholt is holding up the meat cleaver.
Oh, maniacally.
And she's just smiling, covered in blood and guts and viscera, and it is my favorite thing ever, you guys. It was so funny.
Yeah, but it was funny, but it's supposed to serve as like the reunion. Like, oh look, she's here, she's happy, she was part of the fight, everything's great. And we know Kaylin went back down to the kitchens. Like, that's where she was sent to be safe, right? During the battle initially, and then she led the people out of the kitchen to go fight.
You don't fuck with people who handle your food, Jade. No. The kitchen is the safest place. Sorry, as you were saying.
I just think it sucked because it was so, dramatic and battle was raging and shit was going down. We didn't get to see Kaylin actually see Sanderholt after Sandy thought she was dead, and then she found out she wasn't, and now she's come back to Aidendrill safe and sound. We didn't get to see her be like, oh god,
we went through a lot of shit. Alive.
Yeah. Sorry. We all know that we all had to do what we had to do, but like, I like those moments. It makes me fuzzy.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I mean, it did kind of seem like in a soap opera. Or not even a soap opera. At the end of the movie, right? Just before the post-credit scene where the music swells and, like, everything's gonna be okay. And the camera just kind of pans over the characters so that you can do a rough check-in with everybody. Like, oh, and they were good. And they were good. And then it just kind of shows Sanderholt being like, and it's fine.
And everyone's there. People that it doesn't make sense that would be there are there, like people from the kitchen out on the battlefield and shit like that. You're like, oh, look, it's old grandma Honeybun hanging out there just giving us the thumbs up. No, just kidding. She's dead.
I'd like to imagine her just like raising her dead fist out of the snow and the bottom of the keep and like thumbs up. Yeah. And I'm cool with being dead. Yeah.
I ate some Mariz with liver. It was wonderful.
That's fucking great. Oh. Hey, what's up, Al?
Hey, Al.
Caro also asks, minor spoiler, but does anyone know if Mistress Sanderholt shows up in one of the other books again? I can't remember, but now I kind of hope she does.
Same. I'm thinking she probably is in the next book. Right? Because we're still in Aidendrill.
I believe so, yeah.
I love the next book. I'm super fucking excited. But I don't know if she plays a part in anyone after that, because they do leave Aidendrill, spoiler, after the next book for a considerable amount of time, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever go back to Aidendrill after that. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and we already have an answer. Yes, she does.
Of course we do. Al's here.
Al is a true wizard. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's quick with that shit.
All right. So. Next thing, the Mrizwith. Their connection with Jagang and just their whole deal.
Yeah, that was my note.
That was your note. That's why I read it weird.
Yeah, because... Okay. I guess I was just confused. Were the Mrizwith completely being controlled by Jagang this entire book? Have they been... Because we know that they lived in the Hagen Woods, and they are, like, wizards of old that were turned into weapon things, right?
Right.
So, did Jagang just get into, like, all of their heads, or, like, the main dude's heads, and start controlling all the Mrizwith, and telling them to go after Richard, and that's what all of this is, because
to kind of further his ends.
Because they were protecting Richard, because Jagang wanted Richard alive, so he could control him. That was his ultimate goal here. So is that what all of this, like, everything the Mrizwith did was a power play by Jagang, or were they also doing their own thing, kind of instinctively on their own. Like, because
I don't know,
the
because
Mariswa's queen wanted to relocate her fucking eggs and shit, right?
yeah, but then that begs the question: how do the Mariswith know that they need Richard to do that?
Yeah, like
they could have just used anybody to do that. Maybe even Toby to do that. But Toby didn't like them to begin with. It wasn't his idea to have them there.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting his direction from the Dreamwalker
right.
to him, a.k.a. the creator. So I'm pretty sure that Jagang is the one who coordinated all of this with the Mariswith.
Right. But I guess that's my thing, is that they needed Richard to free the Mariswith queen. It's all very connected in a weird fucking way to me, and it's a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie. Because also, how did they get to Aidendrill so quick? Were they using... Because I know that the Sliff door was knocked down, right? So, were they able to travel in the Sliff before he went down to the Sliff and actually woke it up? Or were they traveling by land?
Yeah, because they were there in the very beginning of the book.
Yes. There was a lot of them there, too. And then they started, like, infesting the keep before they were able to, as far as I know, use the Sliff to get back from Hagen Woods with the queen once he let her out.
Right. And so it is confusing to me because, yeah, Richard hadn't... Well, okay, so I guess they could have been there at the beginning of the book because Richard dropped the towers in book 2.
So had they started to make their way there before he got there, though?
It must have been. They must have started using it. That's the only option that I can see. They must have started using the Sliff immediately when the towers fell because there's no time between book 2 or 3.
Yeah, Richard hauls fucking ass to get there as fast as he does, and then they are there almost immediately.
Which they could be because he's not using the Sliff at that point, and they are.
Yeah.
So they could have feasibly beat him there.
But I thought it was sleeping until he used his awesome magic
That's the thing.
To wake it up.
That's the thing. It was open, and so I don't know if maybe somebody else could wake it up or not.
What?
Like,
yeah.
Not somebody else. But, like, obviously Richard had to use it for Richard, but maybe the Mariswith were also able to, like, hey, I got to take a ride.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I do know that, yes, all of the Mariswith did die. Now, okay, Al says they couldn't use the Sliff. He has to wake it up. So then what's our theory on how the Mariswith got there so fast? Were they planning this for a long time? You know, did they just travel there over land in advance?
Super fast?
They could be. I'm assuming they're fast. I don't know why I picture it like Alien, like the movie Alien.
Yeah.
I know that's not exactly how they're described, but to me it's just funny. But maybe, you know, Jagang, if Jagang was in control of the Mariswith, then he's been doing this for a long time. We know that the Order has been a thing since the second book.
Yeah,
I think it was the first time that they were actually named.
Well, and we were told by Verna they've been in charge for like 30 years now or some shit.
Right, exactly. So then, in theory, they could have, you know, Jagang being in charge, he could have a while ago been like, okay, we're going to start this push. He knew about Richard, so he sent the Mariswith overland ahead of time to help him with these plans. We just didn't realize that that's what it was. They were in the Hagen Woods, obviously, but that's the old world.
Well, and I guess he was trying to take over Aidendrill before Richard went to fucking Dahara first. So there was a little bit of time wasted, and we know that the Imperial Order was already coming up through the Midlands and taking over there. So,
right.
I guess... But, okay, so then the theory...
Plus, no, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So then the theory is it's all Jagang.
Mm-hmm.
They were...
it's all Jagang. He sent them there. And as Al just pointed out, they would have been invisible. So it would have been really easy for them to travel quickly.
I mean, but they're still, like, human beings in lizard bodies. So they're still like, they're not like cheetahs.
No, but lizards can move pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
He says they also could have sent them by ship, just sail around the barrier.
Okay. See, that's all I'm saying. That makes sense. Because that's how some of the Imperial Order got into the Midlands before the barrier went down.
Can you imagine if you were a sailor and then came upon that fucking ship?
Yeah,
oh,
that'd be
gosh.
crazy as hell. Yeah. Okay. So that's all. I was just a little bit confused because it seemed like there was like some weird, maybe not prophecy shit, but almost prophecy shit with him being the one to be able to let the Marizwith Queen go and get them back into the palace. And then there was also the Jagang stuff. So it almost seemed like it was two separate like entities of Marizwith going on. You know, like some were controlled by Jagang, but some weren't. But I don't get that feeling, I guess, completely. It was just a little confusing.
It did seem kind of separated a little bit. But, yeah, it's kind of like things that are supposed to happen and things that aren't supposed to happen. It's like, with Jagang being in charge of so many different things at once, sometimes the threats almost seem like different. It's not coming from the same guy. You know, Jagang is supposed to be this not war wizard. He's supposed to be this emperor who's sending an army after you and has the use of magic. And so when it's presented to you as almost two wow, that's not even a word.
No, it's not a word.
Two completely separate threats, it does get a little confusing, I feel like. But overall, yeah, it's all him.
Okay, so it almost... Okay, so his ultimate goal could have been to turn Richard into like a Marizwith dude and then control him that way?
It seems like it. Yeah.
Until he was like, Marissa, it's cool to kill him.
If you had turned Richard into a Marizwith, he would be the most badass Marizwith.
I mean, that's what we were talking about before. That's why I don't
know
that it was a great plan to give him to Yabreeze and be like, here you go.
Probably not, but if you could control him in that way, like... Yeah. He is what he is on top of being invisible and having, you know, the augmented sort of truth then with the 6 cross guards that are also sharp.
Yeah.
Like Wolverine with the sword. Oh, gosh.
But yeah, okay, so we cleared that up, I guess, a little bit. And yeah, as far as I know, they're all dead now. So that's the end of that storyline.
Yeah, as far as we know, they are all gone. All the babies have been destroyed. There are no more eggs left to speak of.
No more disgusting little eggs.
So I'd like to imagine there's a couple of them roaming around.
Yeah.
That just weren't there for whatever reason. But because it's a hive mentality,
they were late.
like the yeah, they just showed up late and they're like, oh no.
Shit.
I'm just going to go. But because it's like a beehive mentality, I feel like they all would have been there.
Or there was like a toddler, too, that just wasn't fit for battle yet.
Mama.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Well, it's very similar to Gratch's situation.
Yeah, maybe Richard can just make friends with Marizwith now.
Yeah. Raise it. Since Gratch is gone forever.
Well, he could visit.
He could. That's what they tease us with that idea, and then he doesn't ever fucking... To my knowledge, see Richard again. He apparently appears in another book, but does not see Richard, and it's some bull.
It's very, very sad.
He could bring his babies to visit if Richard ever stopped for like 2 seconds.
If.
Yeah.
But he won't, because he's Richard.
Because he's Richard. Okay, so Toby. Our wonderful dude Toby. He apparently had magic the whole time.
Yep. Had the gift.
Yeah. But apparently he didn't endure the headaches or the need for training. So is he not like a full wizard? Is that why that was? Why was he able to just like live his life not knowing that he was able to do magic? Did Lunetta have some type of shield on him, or like, I was just a little confused because every wizard or magic user that we know that is a man, as far as we know, has to deal with the headaches or training of some type, and Toby apparently did not, and was not even aware of the fact that he was a fucking wizard or whatever he was.
Oh, that's a really good. Okay.
So I don't even know. I'm just like, we know Addie got sent when she was younger to go hang out with the sisters for a little while. We know, like, sorceresses don't have to deal with that shit. They don't have headaches. So is he not a wizard, but a sorcerer? But we haven't heard of men being anything but wizards, have we?
No, and it wasn't really distinguished, I don't think, because well, they don't really say that he's a wizard or a sorcerer or anything like that. Obviously, specifically, Terry did not. So we don't know if he's really beholden to the same rules.
Oh, but look, we have an answer.
Oh, we do have it. Okay, all right. Let's see here. He never triggered the gift because Lunetta protected him. There are 3 things you have to do in order to fully trigger the gift. Okay. Right. So he had not gone through magical puberty yet.
So that's what happened in the end of this book then.
That's why his voice was so high. And he's bald.
That's why he was so confused and chopping nipples off and fucking his sister.
Oh my gosh, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
He really is Ed Gein.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's not. It's not good.
Gosh, just the worst.
Did we ever find out? Did his nipple case got thrown in the fire at the end of the book? Didn't it?
Caro does. Say, I'm sorry. What was that? One more time.
Did his nipple case get thrown in the fire during that fight? I was gonna double check before this episode, and I never did. Which it's a silly thing to want to know, but I was like, what happened to the nipples?
I would like to think that before the last little breath of life shuddered out of him, that he reached over to his nipple case and held it close to him. Just as a final comfort. Not that he deserves it.
Those are his pretties.
Right. And then he was burned the fuck alive. Caro says maybe, with Toby, it's a little bit like an Obscurus in Fantastic Beasts. He kind of suppresses his powers, and that's why he never triggered his gift. Which is actually pretty close. It wasn't him, right? It was Lunetta doing it to him. But yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's probably also why he was so fucking uptight all the time.
I gotta reach my beer. Oh. I had it sitting on the table in front of me, so every time I wanted to grab it, I had to, like, I know this makes me sound so lazy. I actually had to lean forward
and make dad noises.
And make dad noises, so I had to move the microphone every time I did it. Yeah, Al says the nipple case was attached to his belt, so it would have burned up with him. So he could have done exactly like I said. He just, like, held on to it.
Yeah. Opened it, spread them all over his body.
Oh, God. Hello, Richard.
These are my trophies.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
That's a deep cut.
So I loved all the Mord Sith moments in this book. Obviously,
yes.
We got introduced to them as a protagonist. I don't know if protagonist is the right word, but like they are allies in this book as opposed to enemies as they have been before. And just the shit with Berdine and Reyna and I don't know. There's a lot of touching the part with Kara. Fuck me. Kara.
Wow.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me. That kind of
also sounded like walking, didn't it? Wow. JD.
But with Kara and Richard making her promise that he's gonna make her hold the baby. My mouth is not saying words the way I want them to.
More beer.
Blah blah blah. So
that's that 15%, man.
Yeah, I just liked how much closer we got to them. I liked the way that Kaylin came in at the end, and despite the way I thought she was going to be with them, she starts like playing back. She recognizes Berdine and Raina's relationship like immediately, and she doesn't have an issue with it. Richard, I mean, he got to a point where he was cool with it, but Kaylin was just like, yeah, love is love, man.
Yeah, which I really, really like about Kaylin. I think from her point of view, because we've been giving her so much shit about being jealous of all these other women, which she does have a right to be. Not, okay, maybe jealous isn't the right word, but like she suspects all these women of doing something with Richard. And she's like, oh, okay, those two really not interested in Richard. They're only interested in each other, so they're not a threat.
Yeah.
But they're also... Berdine, being one of them, is also like, I'm Richard's favorite. She says all of these things that would put a woman on edge.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, she is a little hard to handle, maybe, but she also really, really loves Raina, and so she's saying all of these things to put me on edge, but she's actually really not a threat to me.
Yeah, she actually, like... Kaylin, whoa, sorry. Kaylin.
Is that a 2319?
Yeah. Kaylin maybe doesn't know to the extent that Berdine does not want her man, but she knows that she does not want her man. So she's like, that's cool.
So we could be friends.
Yeah, we can fuck around with each other a little bit. That's fine.
Yeah, little jab. And that's, I mean, you take jabs at your closest friends.
Yeah.
My friends do to me. Is that not normal?
But
it does show that they've gotten to a place to where it's new, but they're comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
And it's nice. The one thing about that whole, I don't know, it still rubs me the wrong way, is Richard not approving. He doesn't tell them he won't allow it, right? But for Berdine and Raina, he goes, I don't understand it. I don't approve of it. But whatever. So he ultimately does come to the right decision, I believe. But Richard, being who he is, with the belief system that he does, if you are doing something that is not harming anybody else, then you should be free to do it. So I understand him saying, I don't understand it, but whatever, you do you, because it's not hurting anybody. I don't understand him not approving of it.
I think it just comes from, like, I'm sorry, guys. From, like, a conservative type mindset. You grow up with a certain set of beliefs. You think certain things are wrong. And he has gotten to a place where he's okay with it. He's open to it. But he is not thinking it's okay because he's still been raised so that it's not okay.
It's not proper. Now,
I do think there's a difference in the way that he approaches it versus Kaylin, because to be fair, Richard Richard grew up in a small little town, right?
Yeah.
With small little
ideas.
I was not going to say that, but like small little.
Yeah, I didn't mean it to. Yeah, you know what I mean.
More closed as
closed.
Far as
okay.
Belief systems, and then Kaylin grew up traveling all over all types of demographics, and
that's true.
Seeing all different types of people.
True.
So maybe she's just a little bit more used to seeing different types of situations like that.
Yeah, and I can see how being exposed to different kinds of people in different kinds of places would open your mind to that a little bit more. Plus, Kaylin, with the situation she's in, she was told from very young, like, you're never going to find true love. Ever.
Yeah, maybe she was already planning on just, like, having some type of weird relationship with, like, a handmaiden, because she's never going to actually love her husband.
Right, so, like, I love that, by the way. She's just like, hey, so this is the way it is. I want to have some real fun. He just does what I tell him to. So, you tell me to do once.
Yeah.
Ooh. But yeah, so I feel like her being exposed to all of that and knowing that she's not able to love whoever it is she wants to love opened her up to the idea that, hey, just love whoever the fuck you want, because it would be such a good thing and a beautiful thing for you to be able to do that.
Speaking of love and that whole situation, I do think, again, it is a strange situation that the book never addresses, that it is a secret that Kaylin and Richard have found a way to love each other and him not be confessed. Or maybe, is it not a secret that they have found a way? It's just a secret, like, what the secret is. Like, how they did it is a secret.
I think it's how they did it is a secret. Because at this point, people know that Richard is the seeker. And they know that Kaylin is a confessor.
Yeah.
And they know that they're in love. And they know that they're going to get married.
Right.
None of that is a secret. It is very much public knowledge. These are the two people who are in charge of the entire, like, several countries now. Right? The alliance they are in charge of. So it's not a secret that they're together.
Well, I guess it's just, I mean, obviously you're not going to put a bulletin out about this, but everyone assumes that whoever the mother confessor gets with ends up confessed. So I would think people would be like, what's going on? At the very least, they would have to address it at some point and just be like, hey, we figured out a way. Don't worry about it, but I am not being controlled by my wife here, because that would be my thought, is that the Lord Rawl, right, is going to eventually be confessed by the mother confessor if they get married, unless they tell us that that's not what's going to happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Which is really an interesting way to look at it from the Daharan's point of view, because if you're Dahara and the Midlands are your enemy for so long, and then suddenly your lord is being married to basically the Queen of the Midlands. I know that's not exactly right.
Yeah, right. That's what, yeah.
But then, now he's obviously confessed and doing what she wants. It's just like the lizard people in Illuminati. You'd be like, oh, it's all puppeteers pulling the strings from the darkness. And it's like, no. But it's hard to convey that to people.
And maybe people are just supposed to assume, but I just feel like that's, like, I don't know. People would talk. Nowadays they have tabloids and shit. They would definitely talk about it.
All right, we got a couple more comments here. Richard simply tells people that he has magic that protects him from her magic.
Oh.
The reason has to remain a secret, though. Okay, so that's,
It's just assumed that he's told people that, I guess, right? Because we haven't seen him say that.
Yeah, otherwise
right?
He would be being asked that all the time. Like, hey, how'd you do it? And then Aaron says, wait, would a common person know why Kaylin can't have a real husband? Is that common knowledge? And I think it is. People know what the confessors are capable of.
Yeah, that's why all the men didn't want to marry, like, the mud people. They were all like, no, you don't want to choose one of the mud people because we don't want to be confessed.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah. They all knew.
That's why no man wanted to touch her or be like her husband.
And, okay, so touching on that, plus everybody's confraid of the offessors. Wow, 15%. Cheers, JD.
Yeah, I'm sipping mine slower than you.
You are, but this, oh my gosh, it's just so good. Okay, so we do see him tell people later in the series. So,
okay,
later.
So that's fine.
But for now, we assume that it's been said.
That's
probably something Terry picked up on. Is like, oh yeah,
yeah, because they'd be whispering in the street
this?
At this point. They'd be like, "What the fuck's gonna happen when they, do the thing?" Yeah,
and then Carl also added that people are afraid of the confessors, and it's because of this.
Yeah,
So yeah, it definitely common knowledge.
That's why no one ever touched her.
No one ever did. She had never been touched before.
No. But even, like, a hand.
And then they had the famous apple scene.
Yeah.
Like that scene.
Yeah. Do ya?
Yeah.
I was going to say, we're
it's
live.
A good one.
You better calm down.
I will. I will. Quick, another bottle of beer.
Okay. So, I also, just a note, so the only... Maybe we had a couple, but I was trying to think of all of the confirmed Sisters of the Dark that we knew about in the palace. Because we know that fucking Verna was tasked with figuring it out, right? She said she figured it out. We knew Leoma was. Most of the people that I suspected in the book actually ended up being, like, on the good side in the end. Like, Dulcie and Phil, I think,
yeah,
were all there.
Dulcie was a surprise.
Yeah, Phoebe was good. We knew she was going to be, but I don't know if we hear about Marin again. We know that the pregnant chick in the basement got killed by Anne. She may not have been a Sister of the Dark, though, because we know Vernon may not have had time to get everybody out of there. So
yeah, that's true.
We were just teased throughout the book that there may have even been wizards in the palace that were sisters. We know they wouldn't be Sisters of the Dark. They'd be Brothers of the Dark? Do they not have names? Wizards?
No, they don't get a cool name.
No. So
they're
pledge
no.
to the
Men
keeper.
have too much shit already. This is a specific thing for the ladies.
But we never found we never found out if there was any of them stuck in the palace when it exploded, or if they were discovered. You know what I mean? I thought that was kind of a loose little thread that was dangled.
So I thought it was interesting because we did talk about this before, about if there were other sisters, if so, who they were. And I've been looking around, and I have a list of known Sisters of the Dark throughout the whole series. So look, this is going to come with an asterisk because I believe these are all from the book. And I believe that they might be from before, from later, and I think maybe a couple of these are Legend of the Seeker only. No, I'm going to take that back. One of these. Okay, so Mariana is just from Legend of the Seeker, not from the books.
Yeah.
Okay, so with her out of the way, these are all of the Sisters of the Dark that we know of.
Okay.
There's Elisha.
Yeah.
Armina.
Yeah.
Becky. Never proven, but highly likely.
Because she's the pregnant one in the basement.
She's the pregnant one in the basement. Right. Cecilia.
Mm-hmm.
Christabel.
Yeah, she's the one on the desk at Indie Gang's thing. Yeah.
Then we have Greta. And Jodelle. And Julia.
I don't think we met them yet.
I don't remember if we have. There's Leoma.
Okay.
Leoma's last name, by the way, is Marsick.
Oh.
Didn't know that. There's Liliana.
We knew her, yeah.
Marissa. Odds.
Yeah.
Then there's Elizabeth Myrick.
Okay.
Okay, that might be from later. There's Odette. Penthea.
Oh.
Perdita.
Ooh, she's a Dalmatian.
She's a Dalmatian, yeah. Then there's, I thought you might like that one, Grace Rendall.
Oh.
Rosalind.
Okay.
Tahira.
Oh.
Tovey.
We know Tovey.
Yep. Tyra and Wilhelmina.
Okay.
Those are the for sure known Sisters of the Dark.
Okay.
So I don't really feel bad soft spoilering that. Spoilering that. That's totally a word. Because in the books, typically, with the Sister of the Dark, you don't get the name right away. You get the character first.
Well, and typically on this...
And then it's a revelation as to who that really is. So I feel like that was safe.
I feel like on these episodes we can be a little bit more cash with those spoilers.
Yeah, we're just hanging out with the good folks of Patreon.
Yeah. If you're not from Patreon and you're here, then hey, you're welcome.
You got lucky.
Yeah.
But that's okay. All are welcome. Okay, one more note here.
No, they're just still talking about the last thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But okay. So, but we know that Jigang kind of stole some of the sisters beforehand, and maybe some of them got out
right
before it exploded.
And he actually might have some there before the Sisters of the Dark arrived there, too.
And we never figured out...
Because he has a bunch of sisters from the Palace of the Prophets already.
And we never figured out who the sister was that traveled to get Kaylin with the Mariz with, right?
That would have been, wasn't it Marissa?
No, I thought Marissa came out of the palace and, met them when they got there. The sister branched off, I thought, with, maybe just Mariswith. I don't know. I don't think we ever hear about the sister very much again.
To the person that brought them to Jagang?
The sister appeared, okay? Like,
yes, the mysterious one that was just hanging out
with
on
the Mariswith.
Yeah.
And wouldn't talk to Toby or
never
Lunetta.
got a name there.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Not sure.
I don't know who that one was. There was no ring, I believe, in her lip.
That's really interesting.
So, just some bitch, I guess. I don't know.
Just some bitch.
That's very demeaning to women, I'm sorry, but whatever.
Well, I didn't say it. You said it.
Yeah.
I copied you.
It's fine.
I'm okay. I'm really not a piece of shit. I try not to be.
So, I know that Ale had mentioned something about a Sliff plot hole, so I'm interested to hear exactly what his thoughts are on whatever that is.
The rules, etc.
Yeah, I know that it was mentioned that Zed can definitely not use it. He can't come back through it, so he's definitely going to have to trek his ass all the way back if he wants to hook back up with Richard. But, yeah, I know that we were talking a little bit earlier about when it was opened, so obviously the Mariswith couldn't have used it before it was woken up.
Right.
But they were all in there. We know that Kaylin can apparently use it because she has both sides of the gift.
Yep, she's covered.
Marissa had both sides of the gifts.
Yep. The gish.
And we're assuming all the Mariswith did also because they were wizards of old. And unless you were a super lame ass, you had both sides of the gift back in the day.
Yeah, that's one of the comments that actually I found on Facebook. If you didn't have both sides of the gift, you were kind of considered like handicapped almost.
Yeah.
You know, it's not normal for you to not have both sides of the gift, which was interesting, especially when we were talking about the door to the Wizard's Keep.
Yeah, because somebody said that's why it was there, and then somebody else also said that it was made for Richard.
It was made for Richard. Because I think it's because they were aware of the fact that less and less wizards were being born with both sides of the gift. So, you know, eventually there would come a time when that was very rare for someone to be born with both sides of the gift. Prophecy saying, hey, this is a thing that's going to happen. So, thus, they built the door. Richard's going to come, essentially. Oh, that was a 2319.
It almost seems, okay, like, you put him, I don't know. So you made a door with a ton of booby traps behind it, hoping that he would be able to figure it out and get through it to open this lift.
He had the magic. He should be able to.
In order to prevent other people from doing it? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work for something that could have been done a lot easier.
Yeah, but Richard's Richard. Like, you know? So he's going to put in the work.
Make one specifically keyed door? Like, I don't know. Like, why you gotta make the fucking chessboard fucking room where he had to hop on each fucking pedestal in order to not die each time he walks through there?
I think
that's gonna be tedious every time he comes in and out.
It's supposed to be... A certain part of it is supposed to be magic. I think another part of it's physical. They knew Richard before Richard was Richard. Right? So I feel like... Plus, okay. This might be a terrible way to explain it away, but if you're Terry Goodkind writing this story, you need a place to store things of magical value that certain characters can access here and there when they have to, right?
Convenient plot places?
Kind of, yeah. But you can't just have anybody walking in there, right? So you have to be able to key your main character to be able to get to this place. But it's not easy because you need suspense. Plus, let's not forget that the Sisters of the Dark can walk into... If Richard has 100% access to the keep, the Sisters of the Dark have 80%. 90%.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
I guess that's...
So that's a part of it, too.
Yeah.
So, by using the shields inside the keep, we can allow Richard all the way in.
Plus, he can't use his brain.
Yeah, but at a cost to him.
Okay.
So, we're assuming that the people, just because it's both sides of the gift, they're still not Richard. And so, hey, maybe it is 90% magic. Maybe he can walk all the way in there just using his gift, but you know what? You still need that instinct, that intuition to get all the way in and to get something of great value. And in that way, it's safe because the wizards of old knew that Richard was going to have this X factor, this Juspa,
See, and Ale says they do go more into that in Soul of the Fire, and that's kind of why we're doing this fucking podcast. Because as you read this series, right, Terry presents things in a way that, honestly, don't make a lot of sense as you're reading them sometimes. Because you're like, wait, what? But you read it so fast, and you go through it, and you're like, cool, this was an awesome book.
A lot of it's pretty intense.
Yeah, a lot of times, if you're not going over it like we have, you don't think about it in the moment. But then he answers those questions for you later. And so we don't have all the
creates the big
yeah, we
moment.
don't have all of the information. And that's why I liked these books, because you have to be able to tear them all apart and pick them apart. And as we go through, we're going to get more and more information, and we're going to be able to go back to some of those earlier books where we were like, why? What? And be like, that's why, bitch. That's why.
That's why.
It actually did make sense. We just were uninformed little infants, and now we have learned and grown into people.
Now we're whole people.
Yeah, we're a person.
That's right. I love that so much. All right. Well, I am going to take another sip of this. Hey, cheers, JD. Cheers to everybody listening.
Cheers.
We can actually cheers now because we have glass.
Oh no, El forgot his thought about the slip. He said it was a plot hole. You have to remember. Sorry, not to put pressure on you. I'm very curious.
Yeah, it was a plot hole about the slip. I think it has something to do with the gift required to use the slip.
I don't know.
I might be wrong.
I'm also still that whole thing with Marissa, her dying in the slip. I get she could have just died. Maybe her body decomposed and the slip ate her. Whatever. But I hate the way that the slip phrased it at the end. The way that she was like, she's with me forever now. What? Yeah,
you would really like... Al, by the way, no pressure, bud. It's all good, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, you can always hit us up later. And I do believe we still have to have a phone conversation with you. So actually, I will reach out to you after this, and we will make that happen, bud.
Yeah.
But so, Aaron, I'm also pressuring you, but in a good way.
So we could always, hey, if you remember later, we'll always just make a separate post about it, and we can talk about it then.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know. Even if nothing comes of Marissa being killed in and I don't think it does. I don't remember her ever coming back up again in the series. But it would have been so cool, honestly, at some point for Terry to have some ghost situation. As Richard goes through the slip at one point, all of a sudden he starts hearing, "I'm gonna bathe in your blood," and he gets out and he's super creeped out, and nothing happened because she's dead and she can't do anything.
But she's in there.
Yeah, but her spirit's in there whispering at him.
Like a weird scene from Bill and Ted where they're going through in the phone booth.
Yeah.
How all the past events are just kind of floating out there and in the space-time continuum.
Here's a thought. If she's with the slip forever, did she really die? Is she with the did she go to the keeper then and be tortured? Did the keeper actually get her? Or is she just floating in some ether, some mid-ground dead place? And she never went to the keeper, and she never had to suffer.
So she's just stuck in like a weird...
But that might be better for her.
Quicksilver jizz-like purgatory.
Yeah, but it might be better, because she knows if she goes to the Keeper, she's failed him, and he's gonna, like, torture her forever.
So it could be better for her.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would wish the Sliff had said definitively what happened to her. Is she dead?
Yeah.
Or is she just absorbed?
Yeah, absorbed.
That'd be a little creepy. Absorbed.
Yeah. Elle says she never comes back. So, yeah, that's just my own personal, like, I wish she would come back in ghost form and whisper at Richard, like menacing things at Richard as he zooms through the Sliff, just for pure entertainment value. Okay, so I think this is probably covered, so maybe I don't need to touch on it. But Berdine went to the Nicobarese Castle palace thing the night that she got her nip cut off, right?
Yes.
We know that the Daharans were there, and they had they tried to battle and stop Toby and Lunetta and everybody from leaving. They were already there guarding the fucking palace to begin with. They were told to keep them there.
Right.
Berdine apparently had decided that Toby and Lunetta were a threat on her own and went by herself.
It kind of seems
telling
that
her
way.
sisters. And we may have talked about this in the series. I was thinking about it as I was trying to go back through all of our notes. I didn't make it all the way through, but it just bothered me because the Mord Sith are also so close, especially her and Reyna. For her to have decided that these people were a threat to Lord Rawl on her own, and decided on her own to go without telling her sisters or the other guards or even some more Daharan guys, and just decided to like go scope it out on her own.
Seems very dangerous.
Yeah, and weird. Like the whole thing just seemed strange to me, and I don't know. It may be pointless to point it out because it happened. She was captured, and I know that after that, and maybe it just goes along with the theme of the book, Passion Rules Reason. Like, she was so caught up in it, she had to go check it out by herself, whatever, and then Richard chooses to not believe that something's wrong because passion rules reason, and he doesn't think about it as deeply as he should, and question her right when he should, as in, like, he knows something's wrong with her immediately, but he doesn't go into it deeply because... No, I don't want to think wrongly of people. I gotta look at the bright side of things. But I don't know. I just felt like, especially because her and Reyna are in a relationship, it's strange that she was there by herself, and it bothers me.
Yeah, she would have at least told one person, I feel like. Plus, from the aspect of a Mord Sith, your whole deal is keeping the Lord Rawl safe.
I guess
she would be kind of leaving his side to go take care of that, and in a way could be leaving him exposed. Now, I have no doubt, and this is probably how she justified it to herself, was, well, all the other Mord Sith are there. They are more than capable.
I guess.
They will keep him safe, so I can do this thing.
And that was probably her thought process. But my thing was, if she really felt it was a threat to Lord Rawl, wouldn't she have brought her sisters in on that threat? You know what I mean? Like, if you're worried enough to go check it out, then you're probably worried enough to tell your sisters, like, I don't think this is good. Richard should have fucking jailed those people. We need to go take care of it, because they're not afraid to go against his orders. So if she really thought that it was worth going against his orders, which, I mean, she didn't really go against his orders, but, you know, going out of her way to do something she thinks that she needs to do to protect him, why wouldn't she have brought more people with her just to make sure?
So they all could go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if she really, like, you have to really believe that there's a threat to go out in the middle of the fucking snow in your little leather outfit. You're not warm. You can't tell me you're warm.
Right. And
go over there and fucking... What's going on? I'm gonna go to the back door of the palace and check stuff out. Like, she was being Snoopy. So, I don't know. I like Berdine a lot. And I don't like that was a thing she did.
Now, I know... Look, Berdine is who she is. We love Berdine. She's a lot to handle. She's very bouncy, I guess, for a lack of a better word. But she also really likes Richard. Because not only is she, she's damaged, just like the rest of the Mord Sith. But she also has this thing that separates her from the rest of the Mord Sith, like her and Reyna, specifically. So I feel like her being in the position she's in, to where she is so separated from normalcy. And I don't mean that in the way that she's damaged and a lesbian. I mean, she is so separated from normal of being a Mord Sith.
Yeah.
That it's important to her to really take care of Richard so that Richard takes care of her. So, now, look, yes, it would have totally been a good idea for her to alert the rest of the Mord Sith that this is something she was going to do, but I also see where she's coming from in the fact that it's important for her specifically, to make sure...
Yeah, because Richard's the only one that sees her.
Exactly.
Other than Reyna.
Because Richard is actually important to her, and this is not just a Mord Sith thing. This is a Richard sees me for who I am thing. I am going to go all out to make sure that he's okay so that I'm okay.
This is just a weird side note. I like that Berdine and Reyna are like the two dark, not dark, but like they're coloring. They're not blondes.
The black sheep.
They're not blondes.
Oh, you mean
all
not? Oh, yeah.
All the Mord Sith except for Constance have been blondes that we've known so far.
Wow, what was that?
Constance was an asshole.
Constance was an asshole. Except for Constance.
Yeah, because she was a dickbag.
You're right. It's deserved.
So,
it's deserved.
Yeah, have been blondes. So we have Reyna and Berdine, who are not blondes. Berdine is also separated from the pack as she's short and curvy.
Short and curvy.
Yeah. So we like Berdine.
It's funny because
she's fun.
Short
brunette, and she's fun.
You hear about the Mord Sith, and you're like, of course, they're like perfect, right? They're 100% fit, zero fat on them. Of course, they would look amazing in these skin-tight leather suits. And then you have Berdine, who is like a little short, curvy, doesn't fit the normal mold, but is every bit of a Mord Sith. And I really like that too. Fuck yeah.
And she just oozes confidence, and I just, even though she probably doesn't feel it all the time, and I just fucking love her.
Because that's what it is. As long as you have the confidence, as long as your output is solid, then, nobody's going to care.
I forgot. Al just pointed out, Denna wasn't blonde. She, in the book, has, like, auburn hair. Blah, blah.
Auburn.
She has auburn hair.
But
right?
In the show...
I think I'm right. But in the show, she has blonde. So it, like, implanted in my brain that she was a blonde. I apologize.
But in the show, Nikki also doesn't wear black. So what the hell is that?
We haven't gotten there with the show. We have to do more watch-alongs because we haven't gotten here to Nikki.
We do. Aaron, are you on your way over yet? We gotta start that thing, bud.
So, another little side note, I guess. Jala is brought up in this book a couple times. Jala Ral is the new game that Richard makes that's less brutal for all the children, and he's doing awesome things for the kids there in Aidendrill. And I just think it's, spoiler alert, it's a little funny, because later in the book, he ends up playing it, and he definitely does not get to use the softer Brock.
No, absolutely not. He definitely has to use the hard one.
Yeah.
So he probably appreciates the fact that he's made the softer one for the kids. Like, that was a good idea, Richard. Go me.
Yeah. And it's probably just a stupid connection because there's not really much of one. He makes such a point in this book to not be okay with that fact of that game. And then here we are, later in the series, and he actually has to put his life on the line for that fucking game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just reading the note here. Don't get Jade started on the show. And then Al says, and he uses it to great advantage.
I think probably just the way he plays Jala back in the later games.
Oh, you mean smashing faces?
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and the strat that he uses.
It's like, you read, and I know Jade apologized a few times about drawing the comparison to Harry Potter, but that's another book that we really love. And with the, I can't remember the name of it.
The ball? You don't know the ball that hurts people?
No, I forget.
It starts with a B. It's not a Brock.
Well, that's what's fucking me up. I keep thinking Brock. The beater is the one who hits that ball away.
It's a bludger.
Bludger. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
It's like you have a Harry Potter Quidditch match, but it's not quite violent enough,
Yeah.
It doesn't quite line up to, say, American football, where people just fucking hitting each other as hard as they can. So then you have a game like Jala where, you got a solid ball, and that's not great. Richard, just change it. But it's just violent enough to where you'd be like, okay, this could definitely be a thing here.
The end of those games is pretty violent. Sorry. The end of those games is pretty fucking violent, Like, the way they kill people.
Oh, yeah.
But...
Oh, yeah, that.
I gotta say, I'm pretty sure that's in Chainfire where we're gonna see that, so it's quite a while from now.
Yeah.
But other than the fourth book, I think that might be one of my favorites. It's one of those 3 books. Chainfire, Phantom, and... Confessor?
Yep.
I like one of those very much. More than the other 2. I don't remember which one.
Without getting into it, I can say this. Chainfire is one of my favorites. Just because of now, okay, I'll say it this way.
Aaron, stop listening
to
if
the
you don't
people
know.
that have read Chainfire and know what that is. That concept to me is fantastic. It's wildly frustrating for the people in the book.
How would you feel if they, spoiler alert, if everyone else forgot it existed?
That just, that's what I loved about it, because it's like, you think you're going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy, but you think you're going crazy. And everybody is like, dude, you're nuts. The entire universe is like, you are wrong, but you know you're not. That would be, I couldn't. My book would be much, much shorter than theirs, for sure. I'm just saying.
Wow, okay. So the overarching theme of this book is obviously passion rules reason. That's the wizard's rule.
Yes.
As I was going through the book, I found, or our notes specifically, I found plenty of fucking examples of it that we didn't necessarily call out in the moment because I guess we weren't thinking about it, but just little shit.
I think we were having trouble finding some of the examples right off the bat because it's not very clear right away what that theme is going to be.
Yeah, but Toby not letting Lunetta stay with Grandma Honey and Little Bun. I mean, now we know that's Valdora and Holly, but
right.
Her not letting him not letting Lunetta stay, that was passion ruling reason. It would have been smarter to let her stay. Just there's a lot of little moments that I was realizing as we were going through it, but I think a lot of it also has to do with the difficulty knowing your instinct versus impulse. We know Richard's instinct is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And it is very difficult to know when that is a smart thing to be following versus him just not using reason, not thinking about what he's doing, or people in general not thinking forward with it and just doing, I want to do this right now. This is the right move right now. And so I think that's the overarching theme, is just trying to figure out exactly when you're breaking the rule is difficult because sometimes it feels like instinct. Yes, I should be doing this, but it's not instinct. It's impulse. and it's, your feelings making you feel like you have to do something, when if you stopped and took a breath and thought about it, reason would tell you that's not the right path.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It's almost like it is instinct telling you to do the thing. No matter what, it is instinct telling you to do the thing. It's like you have to determine where that came from. Is that from I want right now?
Yeah.
Or is it actually a smart idea because you've thought it through? And there's a good chance that if you haven't stopped and thought the whole thing through, that it is, instinct, like you said, but it doesn't come from a place of logic. And so then you're probably breaking the third rule.
Right.
Very hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, people struggle with this literally every day. I know I've seen people online give big examples of this, difficult decisions in their life. But at the same time, I feel like it happens a million times a day at the same time. And it just depends on how you want to apply the rule.
I mean, sorry. Marissa trying to kill Richard in the way that she did, I believe, was probably also passion over reason. Because as we discussed, there was definitely a smarter way for her to have done that. But she wanted it to go down a certain fucking way.
Yeah.
So she chose to roll the dice, and she ended up dead in the sliff.
Which is also kind of a theme in a lot of these books, and I know Richard will get into it later. But the way how in a lot of movies the bad guy will have to bad guy monologue for a long time because they got to tell you everything they did to fuck you over before they kill you. Richard is not about that.
No.
He's just like, no, there's no words. If you deserve to die, you just die. We're not going to waste time making it dramatic.
Yeah.
You're just fucking dead. And that, in a way, is very dramatic. So, like, when it comes to passion over reason, it's like, I'm trying to think of the perfect way to put this. Like, okay, I think I got it. When it comes to passion ruling reason, you need to act fast. That's the expectation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, when it comes to you, as an instinct, you want to think about it. Like I said, you have to judge whether or not you've thought about it. And if you haven't, then you're fucking dead.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Or not dead, but you're breaking the rule for sure.
Yeah, you may be making a bad choice in the long run.
I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. I got too far gone.
It's okay.
Wow, that beer's strong.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. And it was good. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there was a lot of little examples in this book that if you weren't paying attention, slid right fucking past you. And
very subtle.
Yeah. Because it's a hard rule to necessarily determine what they're doing. Because, like, okay, in this book, Richard makes rash decisions about the Midlands, right? I went over some of those chapters today, and I was like, okay. Thinking about passion ruling reason during these chapters is very difficult because it seems like he is making a lot of rash decisions very quickly. But it seemed to me like he was using reason because I don't think that there was another way for him to do that. Like, I don't think he was breaking the rule when he decided to do all that crazy shit with making everyone surrender. But it seems...
Because he thought it through.
Right.
And decided that that was the only way for him to do it.
Right. But it's just... it seems very crazy from the surface when you're looking at it. Like, it looks like it could be him breaking the rule. But legitimately, I couldn't see a different way for him to be doing this without, like, he could have just left and gone to Kaylin, because that's, while we were reading the chapters, that's what I wanted him to do. But that may have been him breaking Wizard's third rule. Had he just been like, I need to go save my chick, and left Aiden Drill to rot, and gone and saved her, that may have been him breaking it, and him choosing instead to save the Midlands by killing the Midlands was him using reason over passion.
Ah.
I guess.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I was thinking of some stuff today, so that's what I came up with. There you go.
Yeah, no, and I think that's really what it comes down through. Down through?
Wow, finish your beer, babe.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, so what it comes down to is this. Passion is your instinct without being thought of ahead of time. Reason can still be your instinct, but it's your instinct that you've thought about. And that's what makes it your instinct.
And when Richard is cheating on Kaylin during this book, it's definitely passion ruling reason.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's a clear case of that.
But he doesn't full on cheat. It's just,
You don't call what was happening
close.
cheating?
Okay.
I mean, it was magic induced, okay? I get it. And she was definitely not consenting to it either, because she was being coerced as well through magic, but...
No, I think the way that Goodkind is portraying it is they're not fucking. They're not fucking. I'm not saying anything up until that point doesn't condone cheating.
To penetration if she hadn't pulled that knife out.
Oh, if she hadn't tried to kill him. No, I just think in the way that romantically he was toying with the idea. He was definitely struggling.
Yes.
But ultimately he was like, no, that's not going to happen. Had she not tried to kill him? I don't know.
But I think,
and we can't know.
In general.
But you would like to think that Richard would be like, no, I'm going to stand up to the temptation because I'm not going to cheat.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It is, in general, I think the reason that whole part was brought into this book was to let you know that cheating is letting your passion rule your reason and fuck it all up. The cat?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh no! Can you hear us? The cat just messed with stuff. Oh, okay. Can you hear us now?
I certainly hope so.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I think we're back. We're back.
That was my last note. Unless anybody else has any last minute theories or thoughts that they want to get out here, because I would love to hear them. If you do, I don't want to cut you guys off short. We've been on here. Does that say an hour and a half? Have we been talking for an hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Oh, hey. So we've been here for a while.
Hell yeah.
Oh, they can still hear us.
Thumbs
awesome.
up.
Fuck
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You didn't mess it up, Puck.
You're okay, Puck. I know that it went silent for a second, so I don't know if that's going to come through or not,
yeah,
but all of a sudden we couldn't hear anything at all, and we're like, oh no.
He just jumped right on top of the mixing
He
board. He was like,
Yeah, he's been upstairs this whole time. He comes down for 2 seconds and drops right on the one thing that he shouldn't touch while we're doing this. Go figure.
Mm-hmm. Al says he can always answer more questions. I don't know that I have more in my head, though. So, I guess that's the thing. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask or bring up right now? I know you don't.
Well, we had the notes.
Yeah, we had the notes. The notes are gone. If not, then I guess we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I had a lot of fucking fun wrapping up this book. I am excited for the next book. I can't wait. I love all of you, all you patrons. I'm way into my beer, so sorry about how I sound.
So now you're going to get some truth, y'all.
Yeah, you're going to hear what I really think.
That's all right. Tell them how you feel, baby.
I just wanted to say that we appreciate you guys for sticking around this long. There's a lot of episodes that we've done. There's that's a lot. You guys have listened to us for a long time.
180s right now.
Yeah. So that's almost 200 hours that you guys have listened, because maybe not completely that, because some of our episodes have been a little bit shorter, but that's a long time. We've been friends for a long time, guys.
Hell yeah.
So in the meantime, while we're gone, if you guys want to reach out and talk about anything, we would love to do that. And just reach out. We can talk about it. We're going to be doing our Patreon stuff from here on out. We're going to try and clean up our website a little bit because we've been neglecting that. We're going to take that little break we talked about. We don't know for how long. It won't be long. The only reason we're not specifying is the last time that we took a break, we planned to do it for like a month or two, and we ended up coming back after like 2 or 3 weeks.
Couple of weeks,
because we were so excited to get into the next book and just keep going with this shit. And I really think we need to take a good break. Not that we don't want to keep going, but just because we have some other stuff to focus on. We will still
be making stuff.
Yeah.
We just won't upload it all at once.
Yeah.
That'll give us the chance to get ahead and get our bearings.
And there is the holidays. I'm working full time. I'm trying to do some other personal stuff. And so we just need a couple, like, I don't want to give like a timeline that's specific, but we just need a little bit of time to get on top of some shit, record some other stuff, give you guys, the patrons, some love that's specifically for you, and then we're going to come back with the 4th book, and believe me, it won't be very long. It's literally just us trying to hold ourselves back from starting again, because I want to do Temple of the Wind so bad.
Yeah, it is an amazing book. I know many, many, many people have said that one is their favorite. And I don't blame them.
I know a lot of people like Faith of the Fallen.
I also like that one, too.
That one's a good one, too. But, oh, God, Temple. Oh.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
So, I want to start talking about it right now, but we can't. So, believe me, it won't be too terribly long. We just need a little bit of time. And if you want to keep hanging out... Woo! Sorry, I'm fucking sorry. If you want to keep hanging out with us, we are going to be on Patreon, doing some stuff over there. The watch-alongs, probably some Wizard Ruled, a talk with Ale at some point about objectivism as a whole, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as he's still down to do that. And maybe we'll do some Harry Potter stuff over there as well, because we are going to be trying to get that podcast going. Because that's only 7 books. We just want to get that one done because it's close to our heart. And if you don't like Harry Potter, I'm sorry. That's okay. It's okay. But we need some time to give that one a little love.
Gotta give that some love and attention.
Yeah. It's definitely not as polished as we are with you guys, because this is what's been getting our full attention. So we're just gonna take a break and relax with some other stuff.
Well, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us, too. We appreciate the fuck out of all of you. Like, we actually mean that. We really, really mean that. Never ever when we started this thing did we think that there would be other people willing to support us doing it.
Seriously.
And so that still seems so strange to us.
Cry.
I'm not trying to make you cry. I just we were really, really surprised at the community that we found when doing this thing, and we're just so happy. Like, it was never about making it a huge thing. We just really enjoyed this. We wanted to do a project together, and we got so much more out of it than we expected.
Well, and I also know that we are unique in our belief system and the way we go about it. We drink, we swear a lot. We don't necessarily align with all of maybe the belief systems that go along with everything that Terry says. And I just appreciate everybody being here, despite whatever, all of that.
Despite that.
We all have different opinions, or maybe we don't. And I don't know. I appreciate you guys a lot, because I know that you don't have to listen. And you're still here anyways, and I love it.
All right. Well, I think that does it for us for today. We've got we just now finished the bottle, and Jade and I each have about a half inch of beer left in our glass. So, Jade, I'm going to say cheers to you. Cheers to all of our patrons out there, thank you guys so much for supporting us. We love the fuck out of you, and we will be back very, very soon for Temple of the Winds.
No. Yes. Sorry, my brain broke. I don't know what happened. I apologize. Forget me. Edit it out. Wait, no, it's live.
It's live. There's nothing we can do. All right.
Al, we will talk in a private message. Everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
We love you. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye.
See you guys.